I'll hit you with a variety of questions here that are of interest to me. I have some Twitter questions. Was Benoit already in the business when you and Chris broke in '90?
Oh, yeah. He was in Japan working as...
Pegasus Kid?
Pegasus Kid at the time, yeah.
Yeah. What was your relationship with him? And obviously, I know you were probably as shocked as the rest of us when the last weekend of his life, but what was your relationship with him? Because, as I've talked to MVP recently, who traveled with him a lot and learned some things about Chris I didn't know. And I always got along great with Chris. I hired him. I brought him in, and I worked through his neck injury where he was off a year. And but what was your relationship like with him? And here's why I asked the question. And maybe I'm being nearsighted. You're both from Alberta. Him from Edmonton, right? You from Calgary. So I just figured that you would maybe understanding better than some. Maybe you crossed paths more with him. I didn't know. But and not to try to just to look back, what was your observations other than the obvious of that whole situation? Did you have a theory on it or a thought and process that you had on that Benoit deal?
I didn't know him as well as people thought. We always just missed each other in every promotion. That when he was in ECW, he left when I got there. He left WCW just when I got there. Really, when I came into WWE, he was just going off with the neck injury. When he got back, there was a brand split, and we were on different brands.
Wow.
We really didn't cross paths much at all. I really didn't get to know him too much until, actually, I had left WWE. When I first started opening up my school, he went so far out of his way, if there's anything I can do to help, because he was always so much for helping the business and giving back to the business. And he helped me find my ring and helped get me started with that. So we really started a online relationship via email and text afterwards. We had talked whenever we were on the same shows because we had mutual friends with Jericho and Eddie and so forth. So we were friendly and got along, but we didn't spend a lot of time together. But he was, again, so helpful with getting me started and so nice to deal with that I was as shocked as everybody. I don't think there is an answer.
No, agree.
I think there was 10 different pieces that fed into making a horrible puzzle. Again, whether it be concussions, whether it be some degree of drug use, be it antidepressants or steroids, whether it be just emotional anxiety with family life, there's no way to tell. It was the most horrible, weekend that you could ever possibly imagine, and I don't think anyone will ever come to grips with it.
I agree. You think he belongs in the Hall of Fame in WWE?
I'm one of the ones that say no.
Yeah, me too.
I just think that the real life events trump the wrestling business, and I don't see how WWE can get away with honoring him and not getting crucified.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's obviously his career contributions and what he did in the business are worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, but coming out and honoring and celebrating a man after what happened that weekend, I don't see how it can be done. I
mentioned the MVP on this podcast that if there was a way that we could reach out to Chris with one call and say, hey, look, what do you think about going to the WWE Hall of Fame under the circumstances that you left this earth? He would say, don't do it, because it would be a huge distraction to all those others that were going in the same class. The story would be about the last weekend of his life, not about his career. And I believe that. I'm with you. I just don't think that he will ever be in the Hall of Fame, nor should he be, and I don't think he'd want to be. That's just my opinion.